प्रणाम गीता ध्यान। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my afflicted mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva sutam devam kansa chanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Vibhuti Yoga, 10th Adhyaya, the chapter of the divine manifestations, where all the Lord has manifested in this creation, in which forms, in which places, that Sri Krishna has already explained to us. And Sri Krishna has also explained to us that there is nothing in this world, in this universe, in this creation which is without me, and there is no end to my manifestations. That's why Sri Krishna right in the beginning told us that it is not possible for me to tell you anything about my manifestations, about my glories as appearing in this creation in their totality, because I myself don't know. These are uncountable. There is no end to my divine manifestation. Na antosmi mama divyanam vibhūtimat parantapa. O scorcher of the foes, O destroyer of the foes, O Arjuna, there is no end to the divine manifestations that I project in this creation. I am everywhere. Each and every atom and particle of this creation is filled with me. Just have that basic understanding. Although I have given you a long list of my divine manifestations, I told you about in which all major gods I am there, the semi-gods I am there, the demigods I am there, the celestial beings I am there, but there is no end to my divine manifestations. Na anta asti mama divyanam vibhūtinam. And then esha tuddeshatah prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. And therefore, I have tried to tell you only the prominent ones of my divine manifestation. For you, as of now, it is sufficient if to know, it is sufficient if you have this proper understanding that each and every particle in this creation, whether it is a tiny subatomic particle or a mammoth Goliath, all the things in this universe are nothing but me. And in fact, Sri Krishna also told that I am among the Vrishnis, among the Vrishni clan, I am appearing this age, this time as Vasudeva, as the son of Vasudeva, as Sri Krishna. And I am also appearing in this time as the middle of the Pandavas, the Dhananjaya, not Arjun, not Yudhishthir, not Bhima, not Nakul, Sahadev, but Arjun, you and me. I am also manifested as Dhananjaya, as you. There is no difference between me and you. And Sri Krishna now is going to tell us in this 41st shloka. Now this Vibhuti Yoga is just coming to an end. We are on the penultimate 41st shloka of this Vibhuti Yoga that we will be reading today. And what Sri Krishna is telling us, how does the knower of God view the world? The knower of God, the one who has understood this reality of the great Lord, of this reality of the manifestation of the great Lord in this entire creation. What Sri Krishna has to tell about. Yadyat vibhūtimat sattvaṁ śhrīmad ūrjitam evāvagachchha tattad tvaṁ mama tejo nśha-sambhavam. Mama tejo nśha-sambhavam. It is all part of my manifestation. Mama tejaha nśha-sambhavam. Whatever is there in this creation is just because of that slightest, minutest part of my splendor. Now just imagine if the Lord starts manifesting himself with the 100% of his splendor, possibly we may not be able to digest that sight, that divine vision. And therefore Sri Krishna says, Yadyat vibhūtim mat sattvaṁ. That this entire glory, this entire manifestation of whatever is there, whatever is being manifested and becoming glorious because of my manifestation in it. Śhrīmad ūrjitam evāvagachchha. That all thing, that all powerful, the prosperous, the glories that you see in this entire creation, whatever that is being glorious, whatever that is being splendorous or prosperous or powerful. Sri Krishna has used 3 words here about vibhutim. Vibhūtimat. Vibhūtimat is glorious. Highly manifested, very high level of divine manifestation in those prominent places. Vibhūtimat. Then śhrīmad, the prosperous, whatever you see prosperous in this universe, and ūrjitam, whatever powerful you see in this universe. All that splendor, all that prosperity, all that power, and everything that just stands out for that matter. Sri Krishna says that is nothing but my little spark of splendor. Tat evāvagachchha. Avagachchha is know for sure. That all those things. Tat evāvagachchha tvaṁ mama tejaha nśha-sambhavam. All that splendor, all that glorious, manifestation, all that power and the standing out in nature of all those divine manifestations is, you know for sure that it is just a little spark of my entire splendor. So now Shri Krishna tells that yes, this is how you can perceive me in this universe. Wherever there is glory, wherever there is prosperity, wherever there is extreme power in positive sense, not in the negative sense. The powerful, that strong, that strength of the Lord. Wherever you find that strength, wherever you find that splendor, wherever you find that glorious splendor, spark in this creation, Sri Krishna says, it is my minuscule splendor which is radiating through all this. I am not sharing my entire splendor. It is just nśha-sambhavam. It is a minuscule part of my splendor that I have given to all these. Just imagine if the Lord gave his 100% of the splendor to all these divine manifestations. We won't be able to bear that vision. It will be so powerful. So the Lord has toned down his splendor. The Lord has toned down his glory. The Lord has toned down his power to manifest in all these things which he has indicated. Whatever being there is glorious, prosperous or powerful, know that to have sprung but from a spark of me, the spark of my splendor. Sun's rays spreads everywhere and reveal their things in their true perspective. The revealing light here is different from the things that are revealed. Now, what makes us see the things? Basically, it is the sun's rays which are helping us see around, which are illuminating the surroundings that we have. In the dark we can't see anything. It is the sun's rays which help us see the things. The revealing light is different from the things that we reveal, that get revealed. Now that light itself has no function in knowing, oh, okay, I'm sitting in front of my laptop, I'm sitting in front of my mobile, and I'm watching YouTube, and I'm watching. The sunlight has got nothing to do with it. Or the light for that matter has got nothing to do with it. It is no way part and parcel of this interaction between the two people, whether it is a direct interaction or indirect interaction or even some perceptions. The light has got nothing to do with it. But if the light is not there, we cannot see each other. If the light is not there, we cannot even listen to what we are listening on the YouTube. But God is self-revealed. Now, just imagine from this example how little actually the sunlight has got to do of our seeing each other. Sunlight is no way involved. But if sunlight is not there, just that fraction of the sunlight's presence makes us possible to see each other. If there is no sunlight, we can't see. But that fraction of a sunlight, that fraction of a presence of the third party, of whosoever it is, that makes a difference. And therefore Sri Krishna says, what you are seeing in this creation as my glorious, my powerful, my prosperous manifestation is just a small, minuscule portion of my great splendor, my divine splendor. You know, you are not capable of seeing the full splendor. I am just revealing, I am just projecting it through a small portion, anshataha. He manifests himself as everything, as a glory, as brilliance, as splendor, as beauty, as power. All this positive also in the negatives. And so many other divine attributes. He is expressing himself through all these divine attributes. Whatever catches our imagination, draws our attention, sends us into raptures and infuses bliss into us. Now, whichever of that simple splendor of the God catches our attention, we get attracted by that. If it is a devotional aspect that we get into, we perceive in that particular manifestation, in that particular glory, we are merged in the current of devotion. We become a great bhakta. If we partake of the jnana which is being spread by the Lord, we become great jnani. If we partake a minuscule part of that tyaga which has been represented, which the Lord has made represent in things of this creation, we become great tyagis. We become great renouncers. So whatever catches our attention, whatever catches our imagination from the Lord's splendor, that we become, that we grasp in our innermost core of our heart. So that is Sri Krishna's teaching, that don't think I have exhibited my 100% of the splendor. No, it is just tiny portion. It is just tejo nśha-sambhavam, just ansha, just a tiny portion, just a part of it. So that is how the Lord exhibits himself. That is how the Lord manifests himself in the things of this creation. Now what Sri Ramakrishna has to say on this, very interesting teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna says, do you know what is meant by Brahman with divine attributes? So Sri Krishna says, these are all my portion of my attributes that I have exhibited, I have manifested as. Now Sri Ramakrishna is asking, do you know how is that Brahman with the attributes? Now Brahman is actually Nirakar, Nirguna. Brahma has no attributes. The Satchidananda Brahman has no attributes. Similarly, the eternal Lord has no attributes, but for the sake of the devotees, Lord has come up with these various manifestations, with these various divine incarnations, with these various different forms forms among gods, forms among demigods, forms among celestial beings, forms among the material things of this universe, the mountains and the rivers and the water bodies and whatnot. And he has given the examples of these are all the prominent places which are filled by me. Now this is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling, that once the Lord, the Brahman, Satchidananda Brahman, once the Brahman takes attributes. What is meant by Brahman with divine attributes? It is like vast expanse of water. Now Sri Ramakrishna is beautifully explaining this wonderful manifestation of the great Brahman with the attributes. It is like a vast expanse of water with waves, ripples, billows, bubbles, sprays, froths and so on. One giant ocean. One giant ocean, and so many forms, so many different manifestations we see in that ocean. We see waves, we see ripples, we see billows, we see bubbles, we see froth at some places in that sea, in that ocean. So likewise, the ocean as a body is one. It doesn't have any form of itself, it doesn't have any attribute of itself. But when it takes these attributes, we see ocean as the waves, we see ocean as the ripples, we see ocean as the billows, then we see ocean as the bubbles or the sprays or even the froth. So these are all the manifestations of that ocean. Likewise, all these splendorous things, all these powerful things, all these glorious things that we see in this creation are but the manifestations of the great Lord. Forms appearing in Chit Akasha or the expanse of consciousness can be experienced. These forms with attributes of the Nirakara Brahman, which is supposed to be having formless, which is supposed to be formless without any attributes. But when the Brahman takes attributes, when Brahman takes form, then the forms appearing in Chit Akasha, the space within our heart, or expanse of consciousness can be experienced. Even the incarnations of God come within this category. So even the incarnations, whether it is Rama, whether it is Buddha, whether it is Jesus, whether it is Krishna, whether it is Ramakrishna, they all fall in this category of maybe a bubble or a spring or a froth or a wave or a ripple of that ocean. These are all those forms of the eternal, the formless, attributeless entity of the Satchidananda Brahman, all these incarnations. And therefore, Sri Krishna says, whatever you see is just a minuscule portion of my splendor. I am not exhibiting you in my totality. So that was the 41st shloka of the Vibhuti Yoga. We are almost touching the end of this 10th adhyaya, the Vibhuti Yoga now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.